Hi everyone and welcome to my latest video. So in this video we're going to do a crochet for beginners. So it's a one-on-one on crocheting and what you need and some of the basics of crocheting. So first of all, obviously we need yarn and we need a crochet hook. So how do you choose which hook to use with which yarn? Best thing to do is to read the label. So the label will show you here. Might be out of focus, but it says it recommends that you use a 5mm hook. The hook that you use obviously will vary on how the stitch will look. So this will give you a pretty neat combination if you use a 5mm with this yarn. However, if you want it to be if you're doing a pattern that requires a looser stitch, then you would maybe size up one. Or if you're doing a pattern that requires a tighter stitch, like amigurumi for example, you would use a smaller hook. So for this example, I will use the 5mm as recommended. So let's get started. So first things first, we need to create a slip knot. That's how most flatter stitches start. So if you're doing a rounded pattern, then you would do a magic ring, or you could do a foundation chain. But for now, I will show you how to do the chain. And first thing we would do is to do a slip knot. So to do that, you grab your yarn, hold it like this in a little triangle shape, twist it so it looks like this, and then you grab the tail end, which is the shorter piece, not the working one, and pull through. And there's your slip knot. You take your yarn, put it in, and then you pull, make it tight. And that's the first step of crocheting. So next we're going to start with our chains. So to do the chains, you need to be ensure that you're holding your yarn and your needle, your crochet hook correctly. So again, your hook always stays in your dominant hand where you hold it like so. So thumb goes here, and then you hold your fingers in the back. And then the working yarn, which is this one that's attached to the yarn, is in your other hand. You need to make sure that you're holding on tight, because if it's loose, you're not going to be able to do anything or to grab with the working yarn and do your stitches if this is loose. So what I do is I wrap it around my fingers and wrap it around my index, so kind of holding it like this is one option, where you have a bit of a tension behind it. So the more tension you have, it helps you to kind of grasp the yarn correctly. And alternatively, you can hold it like this and just make sure that you're holding your yarn super tight when you're crocheting. So your pinky is always kind of latching onto that. So to do the chain, so if for example your yarn, your pattern is saying to chain 10, this is how you would do it. So you would take your needle, wrap it around your yarn like so, and then you would pull it through into the hook. So that's one. And it's gonna look a bit of like a V. When you can see there, it's a bit of a V shape. So that's one. We'll do it again. So you grab your yarn, your needle, and your working yarn. Make sure you're holding it tight. Wrap it around your working yarn, again to make sure that everything's held correctly. So obviously if you let go of this one, it's gonna slide around. So you need to make sure this is tight and this is tight. And then pull it through. Again, just showing you closely, pull it through. So here you can count. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So there you have your foundation chain. So next I'm going to talk you through how to do single crochets. So single crochets will go into the foundation chain. So where you see these little V's that we mentioned here, it will go into these tiny little holes that you see here. So I intentionally didn't do this chain too tight so that it can be a bit more visible for you. So to go into the foundation chain, we'll skip the first one. So it's the stitch where first loop that you see here, and start from the second. This is to ensure that the formation of the pattern is not too wiggly. You take your yarn, put it in this inside the V that you see here. So go in here. So you turn your hook, poke it through here, and then you go underneath the yarn, your working yarn. So you go underneath and you twist your hook. So twist it and then pull it through and lift that up. So now you have two loops on your hook. You do the same, you again go into your working yarn again. So go into your working yarn, make sure it goes like that into your hook, and then pull it through both hooks, both loops. Again, I'll repeat it here. So go into the V, pick up the yarn, twist your hook, pull through. You have the two loops there. Go into the working yarn that you have, and then pull it through the two loops. And then we'll continue. Again. Pick it up. You have the two. And make sure you pull your working yarn while you're working on your stitches. Until you get to the end. And there you go. And then to continue, if your pattern asks you to continue, you do an extra chain, extra stitch at the end, and then turn over. So there you go. That's your first chain of single crochets. Hope that's clear, and like and subscribe for more beginner friendly videos. And let me know what tutorials you're looking for next. Thanks for watching.